Shalawam, shalawam. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Greatmillstone for teaching this truth. And salutations to the Akyam and Akwat worldwide. This is brother Arakia from GMS Finland. And the name of this video is the 2 jobs of the angels of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai when they return. Okay, I'm not quite sure how I will put that in the title, but that will be the subject of this video. The 2 missions, the 2 jobs of the so-called UFO spaceships, which are the vehicles of the angels of the Lord, angels of God, which God's name in the pure language is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And these sightings of these chariots, you know, even if you go to the scriptures, you read in the Bible, the so-called UFO ships are mentioned in countless different verses, in countless different scenarios, man. And they are referred as clouds or chariots or whirlwind, or even the book of Zechariah, the 5th chapter, one chariot is described as a roll. Behold, a flying roll. So these are not actually UFOs, because UFO simply means unidentified flying object, but for the hopeful elect of the nation of Yasharala of Israel, they are actually IFOs, identifiable flying objects, because we identify them as angels of the Lord, which are making their presence known. And that's why the elites of the Gollum cave beast nation, ESAU, EDOM, their elites, their high-ups, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Morgans, Pont, they are so afraid, man, because they are seeing these different UFO sightings, and they know that they don't stand a chance. You know, how can you fight against some extraterrestrial forces? You know, these chariots of the Lord, the angels, they are not operating under the same laws and the same technology as the so-called human beings are. They can teleport, they can minimize their size, they can enlarge themselves, they can fire laser beams which will follow you no matter how many maneuvers you make. They can make themselves invisible. How can you fight against a force like that? So of course the elites of the nation of ESAU, EDOM, who know the setup, who know the future prophecies, of course they are afraid at these UFO sightings. You know, even here in Finland, the chariots are making their presence known. There is a lot of these different UFO sightings here in Finland and across the world. You know, brothers after camp or during camp, you know, they can spot these chariots of the Lord, which are for us the sign of salvation, hopefully, and most certainly sign of destruction and execution and euthanasia to this heathen nation and the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. So let me start with that book of Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 25. Pour out thy fury upon the heathen that now know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name. Okay, this is talking about all the other nations other than the so-called Negroes, Latinos and Native American Indians and Seminole Indians. You know, in the United States of America, the whole land will be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. But you have also the chariots, you know, the so-called UFO ships, angels of the Lord, who are shooting their laser beams and killing these heathen. You know, and especially you know, in different parts of Europe or in Asia, which most likely are not going to be at least utterly destroyed, you know, might get some damage by the Third World War, World War III, but are not most likely going to get utterly destroyed. So you are going to have these chariots of the Lord getting busy with the heathen and executing them and saving some of them alive so they can serve in slavery under us, the nation of Israel, man. So let me continue. And upon the families that call not on thy name. You know, the heathen, they are not calling on the name of Yahweh Shimi Hawashai. You have these Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, these Muslims, calling on their Allah, which simply means power. That's not the name of the Most High. You have these so-called Edomites, the white race, they don't even believe on God. You know, so they are not calling on anybody. You know, they're just, you know, they don't believe in anything. They don't have anything going on. That's a miserable life. You know, you don't have hope in anything. As the Apostle Paul said, we, the hopeful elect of Israel, we are prisoners of hope. You know, that's keeping us going. But if you have lost your hope in the Lord, that's a miserable life, man. That's a situation where ROTHSCHILD, I will never end up in. And none of the Akiam and Akwat who are in the faith, man. So they have eaten up Jacob. They have destroyed us, Israelites. Jacob just simply means Israel. So why are these heathen nations getting executed by these angels of the Lord? It's because us Israelites, Negroes, Latinos and Native American Indians, we are a nation of kings and priests. We are upper class. We are whom this earth was made. So, of course, right now, when these heathen nations who, in the book of 2nd Esdras, are compared to spittle as so, of course, when they have humiliated us, enslaved us, and done all kind of abominations to us, and now living in this world which have been built by the blood of the saints, of the Israelites, by killing, stealing and raping. And the other nations have been in part of it, and they are benefiting in it. So of course they are going to get what they deserve. You reap what you sow. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. That's the patience and faith of the saints, you know. We are in the bottom. We have nothing in this shitty world right now. All the dreams and all the career dreams and all these different aspirations is shit. Only way you can do it anyways is by selling your soul, and even then is bullshit. You know, look at Will Smith, for example. The man is, you know, even in the pictures that he's so-called smiling, you can see he's crying. That's a horrible situation to be in. You know, all kind of rituals they have made on him, etc. So that's the only way you can be on top in this kingdom. And even if you could get to a certain point without selling your soul, it's still not worth it. You know, what are you going to do with some 5 cars and some mansions and some yachts? That's shit compared. That ain't shit compared to what us Israelites will get as Yahweh Shai returns and the righteous world will be set up here in the planet Earth, man. And even though today you would be rich, these are uncertain riches. You know, the scriptures tell us not to trust in uncertain riches, where moth does corrupt. So moth and rust does corrupt, if I remember correctly. So we are, you know, building our treasures in a level that they cannot be corrupted. They cannot be compromised. Slovakia. and devoured him and consumed him and have made his habitation desolate. You know, you have these Jakes in the United States, in the Babylon, living in these ghettos. You have the Gadites, the Reubenites, the native Indians living in these reservations. You have these Latinos, Hispanics living in these ghettos. And our land is the land of Israel. Right now you have these Amalekites who pretend to be Jew. That's why they are Jewish. And that's the synagogue of Satan, you know, bunch of hypocrites. They are not the chosen people. You know, where is King David? The scripture says that when we will get back to our land, the Most High will set up King David to be our physical king. Is Benjamin Netanyahu King David? So the heathen are going to be destroyed by these, you know, UFO ships, the angels of the Lord. And some of them will be reserved to serve in physical slavery. Also, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel who are wicked will also be eliminated by these chariots. Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 13 and 14. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled. He shall come up as clouds, and his chariots shall be as a whirlwind. This is chariots and clouds. These normal chariots wherein you have horses, these chariots. Why would you compare that to a cloud? Or say it in a relation with the cloud? It doesn't make any sense. It's because this is talking about the chariots of the Lord, man, the UFO ships. O Jerusalem, wash thine heart from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. This is what the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone have been preaching on YouTube since 2007. Ezekiel chapter 3, warning the wicked Israelites of their ways so that they can repent and be saved. And it's a beautiful thing that there's more and more Israelites day by day waking up to their true inheritance and waking up to the ways of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and hopefully be saved. That's a beautiful thing. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? But still, the majority of these Israelites is a rebellious nation. They are clinging onto their bullshit. Their different, you know, music genres, you know, just hanging in the streets, sagging their pants, smoking weed, selling weed to each other, and just, you know, gossiping about some bullshit, man. That's a meaningless life. That's a bullshit ass life, man. And it can be said because most of us who have now been, who have been called and whose eyes have been opened to see the truth, most of us have been living that kind of lifestyle, man. Just playing video games all day long, watching these bullshit ass series on Netflix, having that Christianity mentality, man. That's going to get you eliminated by these UFO ships, because the chariots of the Lord are going to kill 2/3 of the nation of Israel. And actually they are going to be, the 2/3 of the nation of Israel is talking about the Israelites in the United States, and they're going to be destroyed by these nuclear missiles and with the chariots. And also worldwide. The wicked Israelites worldwide, they will be eliminated by these UFO ships. So let me get to Revelation 7, because this is the second mission, the second job of these chariots when they return. So I said in the beginning that the subject of this video is that what are the two jobs of the angels of the Lord UFO ships, according to the scriptures, when they return with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach as this world officially and this current system has been finished. Finito. So they're going to be executing, shooting their laser beams and killing heathen nations who have been destined to be killed, and also 2/3 of the nation of Israel. And the another job is that they are going to save the elect of the nation of Israel. That's the hope. That's the hope, to be amongst these elect of the nation of Israel. So let me go to the scripture, Revelation chapter 7 verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So these winds are talking about the calamities and the destruction that the planet Earth is about to undergo. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So the point is, the elect of the nation of Israel will be preserved. Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also shall keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come to try all them that dwell in the world. Roughly paraphrasing. So the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be preserved by Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, for being in the truth and fulfilling his will. So our hope is that our path shall be blessed in a way that we will be preserved from these said perils and calamities. So the angels are about to arrive with some power. Daniel chapter 12 verse 1, it says that Michael the archangel is going to be arriving with Yahweh Shai and fighting for the children of Israel. Destroying these armies, these space forces of these Edomites, of the United States, and all the other countries who will try and go up against these angels. Verse 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So this right here is representing the elect men, 144,000, which is going to be the government body under Yahweh Shai, and King David in the kingdom. This is the representatives of the 12 tribes, 12,000 out of each tribe. I'm not going to go until verse 8 where it lists the tribes. Well, I will just say the names of the tribes, and from every tribe there will be sealed 12,000 of the tribe of Judah, of the tribe of Reuben, of the tribe of Gad, of the tribe of Asher, of the tribe of Naphtali, of the tribe of Manasseh, of the tribe of Simeon, of the tribe of Levi, of the tribe of Issachar, of the tribe of Zebulun, of the tribe of Joseph, which is Ephraim, of the tribe of Benjamin. So this right here is Negroes, Latinos, and Native American and Seminole Indians. These West Indians, Jamaicans, Trinidad and Tobagoans, these Haitians, so-called Haitians, Bahamians, from Guatemala to Panama. This is the people of the Lord. And of course we have Israelite foreigners who will have the appearance of heathens, but they have received the seed of Jacob, of Jacob in sometimes past, and they are a confusion of face. As the apostles and elders say here in GMS. So there's going to be saved by Yahushai and his angels 144,000 elect men, the representatives of the house of Israel. And in the verse 9 it says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Contrary what these Christianity churches say, this is actually talking about Israelite foreigners and Israelites who are across the four corners of the world. This is not talking about heathen nations. This is talking about Israelites who have blended in the other nations and speak the other nations' languages. For example, for myself, I'm here in Finland and I speak Finnish. That is my main language. English is my second language. And if I would have a child with a Edomite woman, just to have an example, it would look like the child of Blake Griffin or the footballer Neymar, which you would think that their childs are Edomites, but in fact they are Israelites. So you are going to have Chinese, Japanese, Indian, Arabic, so-called East Africans, which normally would not be Israelites, but they actually are, because your nationality is determined by your father. And they also have the possibility to be saved because they are of the house of Israel. So the angels are going to be Yahushua, and the angels are going to be saving first and foremost 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel, and then from the United States of Babylon 1/3 of the Israelites that are dwelling therein, of men, women and children. Okay, and then you are going to be having from across the four corners of the world representatives of the 144,000 elect men of the 12 respective tribes. And you are also going to have some men, women and children saved from the four corners of the world who are not, however, part of the 144,000. So that is the second job of these angels. The first one is to destroy and execute and kill these heathen nations, members of these heathen nations, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel. And the other job is that they are going to be saving the elect of the nation of Israel. So that was just the conclusion. I hope you were edified by this lesson. That's it for this one. SHALAWAM.